Hi, I'm Dr. Jay Hitson with LT360 Health Center, and I'm going to talk to you today about one of my favorite topics, and that is your general adaptative potential, or your GAP. Now, this explains a lot about how you feel and why you feel the way you do. So this is a kind of an interesting topic, a little different than something you've ever heard before. So that's why I'm bringing you over to my office, over to the dry erase board, so we can really hash this one out. So in general, your body has the ability to adapt to the stresses of life. Whether that is mental stress that's going on, work, home, school, those types of things, or it can be stresses like being exposed to toxic elements or allergens or those kind of different things that are foreign to your body. We have the ability to adapt to those different things. We have the ability to adapt to even traumas. Whether they be major traumas, minor traumas, we are designed to heal. But the problem is when we're under stress for too long of a period of time, our ability to adapt is decreased. So let me explain this. So here, this is your adaptation range. So here at the bottom, this is the expiration date. This is whenever there's no more adaptation potential. And then this is your high point right through here. For the most part, as we live our lives, we have ups and downs. We have where, we're doing really good, we're eating great, we're exercising, we're doing all those things, and we're able to, really adapt to a lot of things in our life. And then we have those, those different experiences like going on a week-long cruise where you're eating all the wrong foods and this isn't good for you, but we have some of those low moments. All of that we can adapt to. But the problem is whenever there's chronic stress, a chronic stressor, so it's not a week-long cruise that we're on, now we've just adapted an entire lifestyle of eating all the wrong foods. What happens is we actually lower our gap. We lower our ability to adapt. And here's what happens now is whenever we go through and we're having some of these highs and these different lows, and we're spiking higher than our ability to adapt, that's when we start to develop chronic illness. That's when we start to develop chronic disease and deterioration. So whenever we're getting above our adaptation potential, that's when we're having major injuries. That's whenever those who suffer from anxiety and depression, this is whenever panic attacks are happening. We are going beyond our adaptative potential. And here's the problem is if we don't do anything about what's causing our gap to lower, then what happens is it continues to go down. And it continues to go down, and it gets down to the point where now little things in life set us off. Now we're getting beyond our adaptative potential with small things. Let's use a physical example. So there's a lot of people who tell me, I used to be able to go running, I used to be able to play basketball, I used to be able to do all these athletic things, but now, my goodness, I can't go for a long walk. I can't go golfing without hurting myself. Well, the reason why that's happening is because those injuries have so lowered your adaptative potential that, running and playing basketball, it's up here now, and every time you try to do those kind of things, you're spiking. You're literally setting off your adaptative potential and getting injured. So here is the major factor. Let me give one more example. So there's also with people who are under chronic stress, chronic anxiety and depression. They too have so lowered their ability to adapt now simple things are really throwing them off in their lives. So what different stressors and they used to be able to handle, now just sometimes simple trips dealing with people at the grocery store can be very, very disturbing. And simple things in life, normal life circumstances, now are throwing them out of their general adaptative potential. So what do you do about this? Well, the key thing is, number one, we have to find out what is lowering and remove these different factors, because as you keep lowering and lowering and lowering the adaptative potential, we get to the point where there's just no more room to work in, and then that's when we hit our expiration date. So the biggest factor is, and the awesome point to the general adaptative potential is that you can raise your gap. You can raise your adaptative potential. Here's how. First of all, you can start doing the right things. For instance, if having the right amount of nutrition will increase that gap. So now again, you can function with more things. Now you're able to get some more exercise, and that too will be able to raise now that adaptative potential. You don't get injured as easy. For instance, in some people's cases, we're using some very, very specific nutritional recommendations. So we're getting rid of some of the different foods that are aggravating, or we may be using the anti-inflammatory diet, or we're using all of these other factors. That too is increasing this adaptative potential. We may have to go in and we may have to do some regenerative medicine, or maybe have to do some physical therapy, or maybe some chiropractic, some of these other different factors that can increase this gap. And you keep increasing that, and pretty soon you can get back to a lot of those things that you used to be able to do quite easily. Now, there's always limitations on some permanent damage, but we really look at what's called the 3 T's: trauma, toxin, and thought. So if we can keep the stress under control, if we can stop with the traumas, stop with the micro traumas, the major traumas, and if we can also eliminate a lot of the toxins, what we can do is we can increase your gap, increase your ability to adapt, increase the amount of things that you can do with vitality in your life, and give you back more of your full potential. I'm Dr. J. Hitson with LT360 Health Center.